All right, welcome back, guys, to the fifth episode in this offensive tackle prospect scouting report series, if you will. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we are going to be talking about Amarius Mims. You guys can like, subscribe, and of course comment if you enjoy this video. Hit the bell icon. And if you want to check out more content, miscellaneous content, I have a podcast that is in the description, as well as all sorts of social media, which you can find at JK Bogan. Let's dive into this. So, Georgia's Amarius Mims. We're going to talk about him, man. I have been very high on him from the start of this, not watching a ton of film at that point, but just, I knew who he was. I watched some of his film. I like to do 3 games. I only really watched like a couple at that point. And I made a video that the Rams should target him at the 19th overall pick. And people were like, that's interesting. He kind of sounds like Greg Robinson. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not Greg Robinson. First off, he played mainly right tackle in college. So Greg Robinson being a left tackle, that doesn't add up. Regardless of that, though, Amarius Mims is very intriguing. And I'm really excited to talk about him because this is somebody who could end up being the best tackle from this draft when it's all said and done. Now, I said could, so obviously we'll have the smart Alex at home that are probably going to say, well, Jake, so could any of these guys. I mean, we've seen it before. Tom Brady was 199. No. I'm talking about a guy that literally has a very good shot. If the right coaches, surround him, he is like a legit shot at becoming really good. So, Amarius Mims, what are his strengths? Let's talk about it. He is a risky first rounder, no doubt about it. This is somebody that's going to go in the first round, regardless of where I have him graded. He's going in the first round. He's got these rare tools that you just don't see very often. The size, the combination of the size, the athleticism, how smart he is. You just don't see it very often. But because of his limited experience and durability, we'll get into that, he is likely going to be considered a risk. Some teams will take him right off their board. Now, I don't think there's going to be a lot, but there could be some. So let's get into it. His strengths, outstanding size and athleticism combo. He's 6'7", 340 pounds. I mean, that's what, he was made in a lab? I mean, that's insane. But even the length is elite for him. You watch it on film and you're like, this guy, he's basically a cheat code. When he's on, he is on. His frame is absolutely outstanding. He is a very powerful tackle. He can push around really just the best of the best in college. I mean, I watched it and I was pretty impressed. I mean, talk about the different teams that he's going up against, being at, a college like Georgia. It gives you that idea. He has this outstanding ability to mirror incoming rushers. I use the term mirroring a lot. I know others use different terms, and that's the great thing about scouting reports. None of them are the same. We all see things differently and say things differently. But with him, he's like doing what corners do. Like, he's mirroring the defensive back, just like the corner mirrors the wide receiver. I mean, he does such a nice job of mirroring the defensive player. And the thing that's so scary is that he already has the advantage. He's 6'7", he's 340. You're not pushing him around, right? You're not pushing him around. And, when he meets you up at the top of your rush, it's hard to get away from that. He's got these giant arms. He's got these, just this crazy length. And he's got legitimate grip strength that makes it hard. So at the top of the rush, like if you don't win that first initial rush, the matchup, he's likely going to win that rep. So again, quick, fluid in his pass sets, can dominate any rep whatsoever. But I also like how he looks to get to the second level, whether it's in the run game or the screen game. he's not going to just give up on a play. He's very effective at the point of attack. When he's downfield blocking, he is going to decleat defenders. If you like that, if that's what you're into, if you like the game of football and you like watching offensive linemen do dirty work 10, 15 yards downfield and shove a safety, a corner, a linebacker into next week, you're going to like Amarius Mims. I guarantee it. He does a great job of redirecting defenders. Guys tries to make an inside rush. He just basically pounds him right into the next guy, knocks him right off his feet. Again, like decleating. I mean, he does this. He's very reactive. When I watched him, he was rarely caught off guard. That's a good thing. We like when tackles that are going to be rookies are rarely caught off guard, because in the NFL, you're going to get caught off guard. It's going to happen. The league is always... Everyone just had... You have to assume this. When you come into the NFL as a rookie, everyone just had, as a pass rusher, a year on you. Aside from the rookies, when you're going up against rookies. But, like, just say you're going up against the second-year guy. He's already had the NFL experience. He's already gone up against Trent Williams. He's gone up against, Penny Sewell and... Tristan Wirfs. I mean, that's what you have to assume. So you're already at a disadvantage in that regard. So it's nice that he doesn't get caught off guard. And he's got a bit of a mean streak. I love that. Obviously, I've made that very clear. He's a true finisher in the ground game. So that's another thing. But he can combo block, and he does like doing that. He likes taking multiple guys out. He's going to finish when he has to, but like this guy... He's effective, but what are his weaknesses? Because he ain't perfect. Far from it, as a matter of fact. His number one weakness, injuries. Mims suffered a high ankle sprain this past year, and he needed season-ending tightrope surgery, and that's a big deal. He's got very limited playing experience. He's only started 8 games in college at right tackle. I mean, that's tough. You hear about the great things, but that's a small sample size. Now, keep in mind, I'm only watching 3 to 5 games at most for all of these prospects because I'm trying to get through a bunch of them. I would love to watch 10 in a perfect world. That doesn't always work out. But he played 8 games. He started 8 games. That's concerning. He is raw. He does need to work on his leverage because, he'll tend to lean one way and another guy can just drop down low. And I've seen that. I saw specifically on a pass protection rep where, he comes up, he does a nice job attacking, early on at the top of the rush, but then he leans too much one way and the pass rusher, kind of does a swipe move, gets inside, and you lost the rep. So he will need to work on leverage. The footwork as well. While he glides, he looks fluid and, just a smooth mover. His footwork is still not consistent. And that's to be expected. He only started 8 games in college. He's going to lunge. He's going to take himself out of positioning. Now, keep in mind, he can cheat a little at that level. First off, it's college. Second, when you're built at 6'7" and 340 pounds and you have these crazy long vines for arms, yeah, okay, if you cheat a little bit, you can still recover. And he does have that reactive ability. He has the reactive quickness. He has the ability to cover, the athleticism, all of that. So that is something to keep in mind. Plus, he is flexible, right? But still, the lunging, taking him out of positioning, that's not always the best, especially in the NFL. That could be a problem. He does tend to play upright, okay? It's going to make the job more difficult. You're 6'7", 340 pounds. You have to have some knee bend. You have to have better pad level. If you play play too upright, essentially, a lot of these ridiculously athletic pass rushers that just continue to get more athletic, it seems like, as the years go on, are just going to run under the table, okay? When you're up like that, a guy can just run from underneath you. That's what running under the table, that's how you're able to do that. Edge rushers will dive down and they will use their bend like crazy bendy rushers like a Brian Burns are going to give you fits. And so that's something to keep in mind. Another thing, he doesn't use his hands effectively, consistently enough. This guy can absolutely debilitate you at the point of attack with his hands. Heavy hands, great hand usage. However, it's not consistent enough. We know what he can do at his best. We don't see his best consistently enough. So that's something he does need to work on. That's something NFL coaching will be able to get out of him, I believe. And I don't want to call him, a guy with balance issues, but he can get caught off balance at times. Now, not caught off guard, because being off guard, I think mental, right? I want to make that very clear. My word usage, saying caught off guard, I mean mentally. He's very intelligent. He's not just this big and brawn guy that's just going to move people around and just absolutely clean house. He's also very intelligent. And I think that's something that's kind of underrated about his game. But he does have issue with balance. And you get him to lean one way or the other, it goes back to leverage. So those are some issues that I see in his game. Now, what do I make of Amarius Mims? He's got massive upside to be the best tackle in this class when it's all said and done. You're getting everything essentially you would need if you were to create a starter pack, and let's just say you had 3 different tiers of starter packs. You had your bronze, your silver, and your gold. He's a gold starter pack because he's giving you everything you need in a franchise tackle. Okay? Starter pack, like bronze, you're getting a guy that can be solid but doesn't have insane measurables and, isn't the greatest athlete. Silver, you have a good athlete, very solid measurables. Gold, you have off the charts level. You're talking about size, the athleticism, the processing mentally. That's gold. And that's what you're getting with Mims. Now, gold starter pack. You're not getting plug and play, right? You're not getting guarantee. It's a starter pack. Think about it in terms of Madden Ultimate Team. When you get a starter pack, all those guys are 69, 70, 72 overall. They're never giving you anybody, 90. He's not a 90, but he's going to be the best that you can get as far as what you want to build your left tackle of the future or your right tackle, depending. I think he can play left. I think he can play right. The thing with him is going to be health. Health is everything for Amarius Mims. If he stays healthy for the rest of his career, great. But, we've seen guys who've had issues being healthy, and it's hurt them. And like I said, I looked at all your comments. I saw the Greg Robinson comparison. This is nothing like Greg Robinson. Now, if you wanted to make the argument he reminds you a little bit too much of Mekhi Becton, fine. I'll give you that. Or if he's like DJ Fluker, fine. But I think he's going to be better than both. Here's the thing, though. If you draft him, you have to be ready to take the plunge and make the risky pick if you want the boom results. I mean, just think about it, not just tackle. Think about it in terms of this. People were laughing at Andy Reid when the Chiefs traded up to get Patrick Mahomes at 10 overall. The Bengals drafted John Ross, and then the Chiefs traded up and got Patrick Mahomes. Why were people laughing? He was my number 1 quarterback in that draft. But why were people laughing? Because they had Alex Smith, and they were a playoff team. Why would they do that? That's crazy. They moved way up, and they got a quarterback? Really? They're like a playoff team. They could have done something. Sometimes you have to make a risky pick if you want the boom results. They got the boom results. And by the way, that wasn't a risky pick. I would have done the same thing. I said it. I have evidence all over the interwebs if you don't believe me. Anyway, not the point. Point I'm making here is you have to be prepared to take the plunge if you are going to draft Amarius Mims. But where do I have Amarius Mims graded out? I have him 8.7 agility out of 10, a 9.3 in pass protection out of 10, 8.2 in run blocking, 8.5 in spatial movement, 8.3 in pull/trap, 9.2 in play strength, 8.4 in technique, 9.8 in size. Should probably be a 10. I mean, the size is incredible. 8.6 awareness and 7.5 balance. That puts us at 86.5 out of 100, which is not a first-round grade. It is an early second-round grade for Amarius Mims. Now, let me be the first to say he's going in the first round. He's got too many things there. He'll go in the first round. The tape tells me he's a early second-round pick. Like, if he goes 33rd or 34th, 35th, whatever, won't be surprised. But I didn't have a first-round grade on him. But I love him. I absolutely love Amarius Mims. I think he's going to be very good. He's the best that I've evaluated at this point, in this draft. Out of the 5 that we've evaluated, he would be number 1. Pooney would be number 2. Then, of course, you have Fatanu, Patrick Paul, and then Kingsley Suamataia. That's how my order would be. So, last thing here, does he make sense for the Rams? Well, in a minimum of 20% of the most snaps in the league, PFF had him as the 33rd pass blocking graded tackle, 34th in overall grade, tied for 80th in run blocking grade, 4 pressures allowed in 298 pass protection snaps, 1 pressure given up in 2023 in 6 games, 3rd in pass blocking efficiency of all tackles, and he's 21. He makes a load of sense for the Rams, especially if he falls into their lap in the second round. I think Amarius Mims, I stand by what I initially said. Amarius Mims makes a lot of sense for the Rams even at pick 19. Now, you might not want to take that risk, okay? And personally, based on the film, I don't know if I would take that risk. If he falls to the second, I wouldn't be against trading up. The reason why I like Mims is because he's not just a Suamataia that is young, he's fun, he's got athleticism, he's got good size, he struggles in the run game. So, you think, okay, we can develop that. No. This guy doesn't really struggle in a specific area. We're being nitpicky. We're obviously the leverage and things like that and the weaknesses that I mentioned, but we're being more nitpicky when it comes to an Amarius Mims versus a Suamataia. That's what you need to understand, is that he is 21 years old and he has a chance to be absolutely special. And Suamataia has incredible potential because of that athletic profile, but he is not by any stretch the prospect that Amarius Mims is. Because right out of the box, what you're getting with Amarius Mims is I think you're getting a really good run blocker, personally. I think he's better than the grade that he was given. That's why I gave him an 8.2 out of 10. I think you're getting a really good pass protector. I think you're getting somebody that's agile. I think you're getting somebody that can play and get out in space and make, plays in the screen game and be that convoy. And, his technique is pretty solid and the size is crazy and the awareness is there. The balance is the only main issue that I have in this grading scale, 7.5. It's what kept him out of the 87 range, okay? But so far, I have fully evaluated 5 prospects in this draft. And yes, I will be putting it on. It will be going to another level. We'll get a lot more out soon. But out of those 5, Amarius Mims made me feel very, very good about watching him play versus the others. Pooney is really good. Let me just say that right now. Pooney is better than I expected, and I'm a Kansas fan. But it's not even a bias because, again, I thought he'd be like a 4th or 5th rounder. And to see that he's actually a legitimate second-round prospect, in my mind, I was surprised. Amarius Mims, I thought would be a first-round talent. This early second-round grade really is just me changing my grading scale. Maybe in the past he would have been a first-rounder. I mean, I'm grading tougher this year. So I wanted to change it up, and I know that'll suck down the road, but still. So what are you getting with Amarius Mims? Well, you are getting a potential franchise tackle that you can develop. And he's not Joseph Noteboom, who was drafted in the 3rd rounder. And he is not Bobby Brown. Or not Bobby Brown, excuse me. Bobby Evans. So he's not Bobby Evans. He's not Noteboom. He's not Alex Jackson, who was undrafted. This is a first to second round player that can be an all-pro level guy if you develop him properly. He's got it all there. And right out of the box, he can play. He might not be great, but he can be a solid tackle if you need him to be. So there's going to be a team that's desperate enough that they need to play him right away. I don't know if that's what's best for him. Maybe for him to sit and grow, that might make more sense. At the same time, he's only started 8 games. So how do the Rams get him? I think he'll be there at pick 19. They'll have to make a decision. Do they want to trade down, maybe take him? Do they take him at all? That's the decision they'll have to make. The fact of the matter, he's not falling in the 2nd round. Would love it. He's not going to do it. So the Rams have to decide whether or not they take him at 19. He might go earlier. The way that, I don't know how things are going to go with the draft process. I don't know if he's going to work out. Like I said, the tightrope injury and all that. But if he decides to work out, I think the measurables, the testing could put him in the top 10. I'm serious. So I have an early 2nd round grade based on his tape, and I think he is worth the risk, even if you get him in the 1st. But what do you guys think? Would you take him in the 1st? Would you take him at 19? Would you trade down? How do you see it going? What are your thoughts on Amarius Mims? How do you grade out the last 5 that I've graded? Let me know. But I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell icon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.